about pretty much everything that's been going on. Of course, we have a couple days more kind of information to go over. I'm not going to be able to get to everything in detail. I'm going to hit the hard headlines as fast as possible, so you guys are going to get kind of the abridged version of what is going on. First of all, Taiwan is to stage live fire drills as fears of possible PLA attack grow. That's a big one. But first off, too, I want to remind you of the simulation that the US did last fall. That simulation we actually showed you was classified up until recently. Why did they have it classified for almost a year? I don't know. But again, in that situation, it was a very specific scenario where essentially China would win in a conflict. And if you don't know what that is, we will link that on our website, marfooglenews.com. And all of the headlines that I'm going to show you here today are linked on the website. We're going to make sure you have links. Somebody last time said, hey, what links? Go to marfooglenews.com. You'll find everything there as far as links go. Because we back up what we say. We don't just say something randomly. We use authoritative sources and authoritative people. It says exercises will take place on Dongsha Islands in South China Sea on April 25th and May 5th. So between that time period, of course, we actually have a date and time that these things are going to go down. Now, if you know about that simulation, it's kind of weird, right? U.S. and Chinese carrier groups amass in the South China Sea. Now, we know they have now come out and said that U.S. and China are both sending carriers to the South China Sea. You can take that with whatever, you can take that however you want to take it. And then is, of course, the Middle E country appears to confirm it carried out a cyber attack on the I nuclear facility. And of course, is real. And then, of course, India objects to U.S. Navy ships transit without consent. This was a big deal because they were doing a freedom of navigation act type of thing, or I'm sorry, freedom of international waters, or whatever they call it. Again, you can correct me in the comments, and I'm sure you will. But they actually objected to it. So that is probably from pressure from, of course, China or Russia, both saying, they're supposed to be able to do this, but we don't want you to do that. And then, of course, it says the objective, say Chinese officials, was to make clear that Beijing sees itself as, okay. So there's another big thing. They just came out and said to the US, China said, we are now equals. That is a big statement from them, because obviously a lot of people have been talking about, where are they and where do they sit now, especially because they now have a larger navy by over 100 ships, which is absolutely insane. Again, we didn't just 3 years ago. In fact, we were covering it and talking about our advantages. And one of the big advantages is that we had a larger navy. We do not anymore. So that kind of shows you what their timeline is and how hurried they have been. They've been producing like crazy. They've been producing jets. They've been producing tanks. They've been producing Navy ships like no one has ever seen in world history. Again, that is from official sources saying that they've never seen this in history, the production level that they are at right now. They actually hid a lot of the making of these Navy ships. So whatever is public, they say that they're making 2 carriers and they're on their 3rd. And these are super carriers that are incredibly advanced, the Type 055. We don't know if there's actually just 2. If you remember, they actually were doing it undercover from satellite. They were making giant ships the size of, of tankers, and nobody even knew, because they had these gigantic structures on the waterfront hiding it. And only until we got intel from somebody on the water that got close enough and got pictures and got that leaked out, did they know that they had these huge structures and making these Navy ships. So just to recap too, as of 7 a.m. on April 8th, the Russian occupation troops, this was a few days ago, we covered this, actually violated the ceasefire in eastern Ukraine. That is now multiplied. That is now more. And from what I hear from people that are actually in Russia and Ukraine, say that it is actually way more than what they're reporting. That I will leave it, to speculation on that. But of course, we have that going on all at the same time. Donbass escalation would definitely be a big deal. We're watching that as well. We're going to go over all of this and more tonight on the live show. We're actually going to cover all of this in detail over on our sister channel, Marfoogle TV. But again, this was kind of more of a super down to the line bullet point of what we are going to talk about and what is actually going on. So this is all big stuff. If people are still asleep at this point and want to tell you that it's just another phase of going up and down, I would say look at the entire world. Look at what the event that happened last year has done to the world economy. Right now is prime time for making changes with the globe. If there wasn't a better time, I don't know what would be a better time to start taking over places and things like this. So it just depends. Should you worry? Absolutely not. Because guess what? We can't worry about things we can't change. What you can change is your preparedness level, and you can be solid. And in fact, it will make you feel better if you are somebody who worries about this kind of stuff. It will make you feel 10 times better if you actually prepare for anything and everything. Whether that be, whether that be for WW3 or whether that be for a tornado or for an earthquake, either way, there's no downside to preparing except for the cost that it actually physically costs you money. And again, we've shown you YouTubers that will show you how to prepare for extremely cheap. Alaska Prepper is a really good one. There are several good ones. Survival Living shows you a lot of great tips. Of course, Bones is doing his own little stuff there as well. But check out those guys because they do a good job of telling you how to prepare for cheap. Alaska Prepper does payday preps, where he actually basically takes his regular paycheck from his job and he goes, okay, here, I'm going to spend a little tiny bit and I'm going to try to get as much as I can. That is what we should be looking at, not going out and selling your house and moving out to the woods. At this point, a lot of people on Twitter, I've seen people on Twitter that follow this stuff saying, get out of big cities. Are we there yet? I want to know your opinion. Again, my opinion is that I take this extremely seriously because I've followed it for 3 years and I've seen all of the stuff get put together. And there's never been this much in line before. So I hope people take it seriously. Again, there's other ways you can prepare too. If you have not checked out our affiliate, again, it helps our channel to help sell these. But at the same time, they are a real thing that we actually suggested before we ever worked with them. EMP shield is something that can protect you against an electromagnetic pulse. So again, it is actually designed and used by a company that is not only contracted with DoD, DHS, now they're officially helping the Texas grid on the DEMSO team. So make sure to check them out at marfooglenews.com/EMP. Again, that's marfooglenews.com/EMP. All right, you guys, again, right now I believe that they are doing a better price, or at least as good as they did, I even want to say 2 Black Fridays ago. So again, go check it out. Make sure to go check that. And on top of that, go over to Marfoogle TV if you have not already, to our sister channel. We're going to have a full live show and talk about all of this. Thank you guys. Thanks for sticking around. Be safe, be prepared, and Marf out.